I don't care. 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 And this one might get shut down too, which means that there's a possibility. I don't know what this is going to turn out to be. That I get um, the a second strike, which will be wild. But I mean, we were just reacting, so it is what it is. I'll give a little second to see what happens. But yeah, for the most part, man, we still gonna talk about this show. Ain't nothing gonna stop us from talking about this show. Ain't nothing gonna stop us from talking about this show. This show was legendary. It is well worth whatever the consequences come with showing that. I don't care about none of that. You hear me? I don't care about none of that. We're here. The culture's strong. Y'all came back. I ain't worried about none of that. They on your neck. Yeah, of course, because I just had, it's my first day out. I had an ankle monitor. I had an ankle monitor. Rightfully so. That's what they should have did. They did what they're supposed to do. You supposed to protect your business. And I'm supposed to be a menace. I did what I was supposed to do. They didn't like all that. It's cool. I'll chop it up and I'll figure it out. But we gonna talk about this performance. Dog, they hate it. They ain't hated on nothing. They did their job. If anything, I've just proved to them that their systems work. You gotta have a good sense of humor if you decide to do this. If you decide to do anything dealing with social media, if anything dealing with a channel, you better have a good sense of humor because boy, they'll stress you out. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. You hear me? I don't care about none of that. What we just witnessed was pure history. And I'm so glad that I was able to cover whatever I covered. The fact of the matter is, no matter if they take the video down, deleted it, y'all saw what I saw. I'll be back again looking ass. I ain't going back. We're going to talk about this. Even if I can't show it no more, that's cool. Lets me know I can't show it. Okay, cool. This is better anyways. I ain't tripping on that. Man, oh man, oh man. Man. Wow. Even as I watch it again now for the second time with you guys live streaming, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, when have we ever seen anything, not something that made us feel that feeling, but when have we ever seen anything like this? The run, I would love to debate somebody about who's had a better run. When I think about the best runs in hip hop, I got to think about people, at least in this age of media. Right? Not talking about physical media, not talking about radio, talking about in this era of media, right? Where you have the internet as a part of your rollout. I got to think about the 50s. I got to think about the Waynes and the mixtape circulation through Dat Piff and all the mixtape outlets. I got to think about Drake, and I got to think about who else had a prolific output like that? I mean, I guess you could argue for Future, but in terms of that, this is the greatest run in hip hop history that I have ever witnessed. That to me is not even up for debate. Whether or not you like the performance or not, this is the run. This is the best run I've ever seen. Hands down. Drakarian called the HOA on your ass. POP, hold me down. POP, hold me down. I don't care about none of that, bro. Let me see if I got any updates on my channel, though. I do care about that. Let me see if they got me. Because the first thing I did when I saw that was I deleted some shit. I deleted that shit. All right, it looked like we good. It looked like we good. Until I get that email, the email going to be the thing that's going to get me. Whatever. Too light skin for TV is crazy. What did y'all think of this performance? Why they stopped the video? Because I'm showing something, like, they need to fix this shit. Honestly, we're in a different world. You in jail again? How the hell you go to jail during your celebration? That's me. I'm really like that. I'm really out here like that. I went to jail during my celebration. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. You said Kendrick smiling in the camera is the level of petty I strive to be. I already said it. If I send you that photo of me like this, that means I did the thing you told me not to do. I did the thing you told me not to do. That thing that I asked you about, and you were like, you don't do that, Curtis. I did that shit. If you see me do this This nigga he looked right into the camera. I've never seen a battle get to this level. I feel like Haha Davis, I ain't never seen you act like this. I have never. He looked in the camera. I thought I was in trouble. He looked in the camera and I thought I was in trouble. I didn't do nothing. I didn't diss him. I didn't diss him. He edged us. That's crazy. I don't know how I like him. He looked in the camera. He looked in the camera like, you think I'm not going to say anything about you? You thought I wasn't going to say your name because you got a lawsuit on my label? Say Drake. How much you want to bet this nigga will never make another song in A minor? How much you want to bet he will never make a song with horns in it? How much you want to bet that when he wakes up in cold sweats that say, you know what I think is so gangster about that? This nigga thought it was funny on some immature troll shit to be using Tupac's California Love as a toilet ringtone. The most Drake shit to do in the first place. He has a ringtone for every time his toilet flushes. I don't know who needs to hear music every time they drop a deuce, but he does. That's him. Every time he pees, he has to listen to the biggest influence of the rapper that destroyed him. How much you want to bet he had that part of his toilet removed? How much you want to bet that shit is now just a bidet? That's a real story, by the way. He said that. He was like, yeah, yeah, I do have a toilet that plays California Love every time you flush it. Kendrick is so surgical. That is weird, but Kendrick is so surgical. He even dressed like Tupac did today with the feelers on. This nigga's a menace. Kendrick had feelers on. He had feelers on. Nobody wears feelers unless they really bought their life. He had feelers on. That's like the black Air Force Ones that nobody talks about. Mark W, we back up and I hope so. Let me refresh this. I'm keep refreshing to see if I got another strike. If I got another strike, boy, I'm gonna need my MCN to come through. They ain't said nothing. I deleted it. His jacket said Gloria for his pen too. Shout out to him for that. Somebody said SZA's jacket said Crybaby or something like that. Thank Jay-Z for putting hip hop, the Super Bowl stage. Jay-Z once again put the culture on his back. You know what? Shout out to Jay-Z, because I think that people don't want to admit that. Why are you on a different camera? Because I didn't want to risk doing the thing I did last time. Last time when my live stream got taken down, the first thing I did was go right back to my other camera setup. And I didn't want to put the same thumbnail up and them thinking like, oh, he's doing the same thing. Let's just automatically strike it down. So I'm just doing this right now as a precaution because I really got to get this content off. And I don't know what the next 24 hours holds for this channel. Completely 1,000 with you. I don't know what holds. I don't know what's going to be that. Because that was a risky move. But I thought that I was just reacting. I stopped the video. Yeah, I got an MCN now, thank God. So they can definitely help out. But I don't know what's going to happen in the next 24 hours. But you know what? I do it again. I do it again. I do it again. I absolutely do it again. You were reacting. You can fight this one. Yeah, I wasn't broadcasting anything. I was reacting like channels do. I just really feel like I understand that this is old legacy media and they want to make sure that people are not, being egregious about showing their content. But they got to understand we're living in a content reaction space, and that helps your causes. You need to fight the strike. You have legal standing. I did fight the strike, the first one. I got my, shut up, talking about some free Carlos King. Shut up, Shinobi. Mind your business. I got an MCN though. I'm on the same MCN as Joe Budden, as Matt Hoffa, as Community, as Figmunity, or Back on Fig, excuse me. I got the same one, but they won't block the Act video though. You know what's funny? And I haven't told y'all about this. You know what's funny about Act allegedly banning or tagging, flagging smaller channels and trying to get rid of them? You know what this dodo didn't? You know what this dodo did that he doesn't understand he did? When Ack allegedly, gotta say that, when he allegedly started flagging smaller channels to get them deleted, he also flagged his name. Because how else would he find these videos of people reacting to him in that inappropriate conversation? He flagged these videos, which in turn are flagging anything with his name in it so they can be proactive. How do I know that? Because the same thing happened with Nipsey Hussle. When that video of Nipsey Hussle went out, any videos that were titled Nipsey Hussle on my channel immediately got cut down because they were trying to proactively stop the spread of the video of his demise, right? So it's immediately kind of like blacklisted to a certain degree until it's safe. His views have been tremendously down. Why? Because he uses his name in his titles, because his channel has his name in it. So in the way that he tried to weaponize his platform to get smaller channels to get taken down, he also weaponized it against himself, dummy. Now his name is going to immediately slow down traffic, because people are going to look at that and be like, or not people, the algorithm is going to look at it and say, oh no, we can't, anything with that name we got to be careful of because he's been flagging anything with that name. Like, what are you doing? And trying to cut down the little channels, or I shouldn't say little, I hate that. It's not little channels, but channels with a smaller subscriber base. What they don't understand is that these channels got allies like me. What they don't understand is that we're part of groups, right? Discord groups, and we talk to each other all the time. So what's getting ready to happen, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to bring together a collection, the same way that you see United Culture, and I talked to my guy Justin, he's going to be a part of it too. I'm going to bring as many of the reaction channels as I can to come here and have kind of like a Culture United conversation, because a lot of them are getting their ass kicked right now by these academics, allegedly, these academics takedowns. So we're going to use our platform for positive. They're not going to stop that. The Super Bowl was ass. Either you're saying that because your team lost or because you feel like you're not like us. I get it. Kristen, you're back. I hope so. I hope so. Let me go ahead and refresh this. I'm going to keep refreshing it. I was pretty quick about deleting it, but who knows what happens when I wake up the next morning. Either way, I got to do this. Screwface going to be there. I got to hit him up. I'm pretty sure if I hit him up personally, he'll be there. But just know that that's something that I'm working on right now. Is I want to bring together all of the reaction channels and give them the opportunity to speak their mind on these things. Do you think Actimus has locked Drake's beat? Oh, whatever. I'm not caring about that. Let's not make it about them tonight. I'm bringing them up only because it's that. Why is your image reversed? Because I'm using the face cam so I can read your comments. Yeah, please bring everyone on. I'm gonna do that. Why Apple allegedly took the performance down for US viewers? I mean, who knows? Maybe there's still some copyright stuff they got to be taken care of. Maybe they're going to do an official documentary of it. Maybe they're going to do a official video that's not just the stream of it. Who knows? It's back up now. Like, I'm literally watching it. It's there now. So I don't, my thing is I got to experience it. I don't care about none of that shit. I got to see it. I got to see that. I saw that. Y'all got to see it. That was history. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. All of this shit is just steps by steps by steps. If I'm live streaming here, this is longer than when I live streamed last time. Let me see what the last time I live streamed after I got banned or suspended. Just like a nigga though. 15 minutes. Or we've been on for 13 minutes. If we pass 15 minutes, we should be in the clear. Right now it's 13 minutes. Insane. Insane. Watching Kendrick do that is insane. Already downloaded the video and locked in my hard drive for reference clips. I still got, you know, every time I do a live stream, Mark, I always record it from OBS. So I got the whole thing. It's going to be on my Patreon. But like, that's the only thing. Like, the bigger this channel grows, the more I'm going to get people in here who don't want to see us having these conversations. And I know there's people right now. It's funny. After I did my Patreon where I live streamed the whole pigskin documentary. Let me speak in code. After I did all that, AJ Legend says, disappointed half his set was basically Drake disses. Would have loved to hear some Good Kid, Mad City. Then go on a tour. And it wasn't half the disses. No, it wasn't half the songs. He did All the Stars. He did Luther. He did DNA. He did Tiramisu. And he did Euphoria and Not Like Us. That, brother, that is not, that's not half. That's not half, brother. He only did a verse and a chorus of that. That's not half. If he did a full song and he did Humble and Peekaboo, what are you, and TV Off, what are you talking about? That is not half. Bro, I hate the internet because niggas will exaggerate numbers like they never seen numbers a day in their life. That is not half. Humble, DNA, Man in the Garden, with the Oakland Doo-Wop, the Oakland Quartet, Peekaboo, TV Off. That is not half. Have you ever gone to math class? That is not half. He did what he did. Kendrick, as much as people want to paint him, and I know Glasses said something about it, as much as people want to paint him as a good kid from the Mad City, that nigga banged on that whole OVO situation. He banged on them at the Super Bowl. You ever been banged on at the Super Bowl? And Squabble Up. What are we talking about? That's not half. Stop the exaggerations because your favorite song is getting played. Learn to just be happy that a situation happened. This nigga could have performed Whacked Out Murals 5 times and I'd have been happy. Not because I'm a stan, but because I'm happy to see him there at the show. You can't never make people happy. They just want a reason to be disappointed in something. They just want to be a contrarian. All that contrarian shit ain't gonna work tonight. Tonight, all that contrarian shit, you better keep that shit to yourself. Because tonight, we celebrating. Keep that contrarian shit to your motherfucking self. Tonight ain't the night. Tonight is about to be the most biased you ever seen me. And it's funny, I was talking to the homie Justin, company man, about what is unbiased media? Where does there exist unbiased media? Give me an example. Where is there unbiased media? Where? Who doesn't have a media outlet that is owned by somebody with their own interests and they invest their money so their interests get amplified? What are you talking about? Reuters? Maybe you got a point there. Somebody putting money in them pockets, though, about what gets amplified. What's the lead story? The Young Turks. No, the Young Turks have been compromised. The very same people they've been messing around, they've been talking about, now is there. Now they covering them. They trying to, hey, man, I can I get a seat at the table? Bro, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as unbiased media. Every single one of them have to answer to somebody. NPR has to answer to somebody. So what I'm saying is, if you think I'm supposed to be NPR, nigga, you're on the wrong channel. If you haven't guessed by now. If the only choices we got are Reuters, what makes you think I want to be Reuters? What about Curtis King make you think I want to be Reuters? Anyways, let's get away from that. That's just funny to me. What makes you think I want to be? In today's news, Kendrick Lamar performed some songs. Some people are on one side of it and say that it was inappropriate for him to do not like us. Some people say it was a great idea. What do you guys think? That's not why you're here. You're here because I'm a human being with an opinion that you may agree or disagree with. But that's insane. What do you want? You don't want unbiased media. Because then you're going to accuse me of being too political. Shut up. Just shut up. I want something to complain about. Get your life together. Get your life together so you can finally be happy for somebody like Kendrick. Or am I talking too loud? Go get your life together so you can be happy for somebody. Dog, let me tell you this. This is the last thing I'm going to say about this. You know how many OGs have exposed themselves over the last few weeks? You know how many OGs have exposed themselves over the last few weeks? You know how disappointed I am that I used to look up to some of these dudes? You know how disappointed I am that I used to look up to some of these dudes. Let's call it out for what it is. I'm going to start with the obvious ones. Kanye, fucking loser. You are a fucking loser. I detest any of y'all that'll come in here and say the problem is y'all not thinking ahead. He's 20 years ahead. So what you're telling me is that in 20 years he's still a hater. Got it. I don't care. I don't care. Kanye, the crash out that he did, not just before the Super Bowl, but the crash out that he did on Dilla Day. That's not culture. That's not culture. That's not culture, fam. How are you not so secure in your billionaire position that you can say, hey, let me put a pause on this bully marketing so that we can celebrate somebody who was probably inspired by what I did? Couldn't even do it for a day. This nigga's been glitching all 48 hours. Because I think he's realizing the same thing a lot of these other OGs. 50 Cent. I think for the first time, I don't think 50 Cent was ever threatened by the reign of Drake. Why? Because Drake is not in the same lane as 50 Cent. Nobody will ever say, what's up, Bill? Nobody will ever say that 50 Cent and Drake make the same type of music. 50 Cent didn't see him as a threat because he's the complete opposite. He gonna always be the most gangster rapper that had the greatest run for a gangster rapper or was gangster adjacent. But then you get Kendrick. That's a problem. That's a problem. Not you too, Ville. Talking about Carlos King. Come on, Ville. You're supposed to be on my side, Ville. That's a problem. Now, this all-time get rich or die trying run has been surpassed not just by some rapper, but a rapper that has the same backing as you. He had the same machine as you. In Interscope, Jimmy Iovine, and Eminem, and Dr. Dre. He had the same backing as you and a much different internet. Could that explain why he decided to pop up with that stupid ass Opolis? How goofy does that look now? That's not the 50 Cent I came up on. That's not the 50 Cent I came up on. The 50 Cent I came up on was calculated. He was sharp. He was cunning. He was on the edge. He's the type of person that Robert Greene had confidence in making the 50 Laws of Power. That's not the same one that I came up looking up to. Who are these OGs that we're talking about? And I know I'm 40 and I'm somebody's OG. But who are these OG? Who are these niggas? Let's talk about Wayne. Wayne had probably one of the greatest mixtape verse runs that you've ever seen. Literally, it is a world Guinness record for the features that he did. The things that he did and all of the Carters and all of the no ceilings and the things he did on a mixtape circuit would never be done again because we're not even a mixtape era. Even he started wigging out. He used to have a work ethic that inspired the very man that's on that stage at the Super Bowl. Even he's whining about not being there. Are you fucking kidding me? What's going on with the OGs? That shit is embarrassing, dog. That shit is embarrassing. We used to look up to you. We used to buy your physical CDs. We used to stand in line at the Tower Records. We used to stand in line at the Sam Goodies and not Sam Goodies, but like the fucking whatever, like the Warehouse Musics. We would buy your CDs for $20. That's how much we believed in you. You are failing us. You are failing us something brutal right now. That shit is bad to look at, to the point where now, in order to save face, you're on a podcast, first of all, with Skip fucking Bayless. Are you kidding me? The same nigga that made Ask These Hoes about me. Ask These Hoes. Ask These Hoes about me. The one that called himself the best rapper alive is on a podcast with Skip fucking Bayless. Coping. And then now he's doing a commercial with, I'm a butcher it because I had a drink. Cetaphil? Nigga, I'm disappointed. And in the commercial, you try to do some tongue in cheek. You know, we're all a little sensitive. Who are these niggas? I'm starting to really believe in this theory of the clones. I'm starting to really believe these niggas are clones. Because there ain't no way these are the same, like, larger than life anti-establishment. You know what I'm saying? Like going against the norm. This ain't the same niggas. There's no way. Yeah, I'm talking about Wayne. These ain't the same niggas I came up on. Who are these niggas? Who are they? And I understand people evolve and get older and get softer and have more kids and it kind of softens them up. But the way that they're acting around this situation only makes me believe insecurities at the front of their mind. Because in their mind, it feels like they were secure in that their position was forever solidified. They never in their mind could have even thought about or grasped a Kendrick Lamar appearing and doing what he just did over the last 365 days. This is insane. This is insane. It's so bad, we're watching some of the Goliaths in hip hop crumble right before our eyes. If you can't see that, your whole perspective is white. It's insane. Hey, Anthony Hart, if you want to tell us that you don't like culture, just don't come in here. Goodbye. Why do niggas that don't like culture come into a culture conversation? I don't get it. Why do niggas who are anti-culture want to come talk to us? You must like something about over here. Why do niggas that don't like seasoning want to come over here where we cooking with seasoning? What is that about? You must like the flavor, huh? Stay your ass over there with that unseasoned chicken that you liked. Why are you coming here? This is not the place to be. Go on them OVO chats right now where they're talking about how overrated the performance was. Why would your unseasoned chicken eating ass come in here? That don't make no sense. Anyways, now let's go to the ones that are a little bit more sensitive for me. The Game and Snoop. The reason why I'm a little bit more hesitant to like go all the way in terms of just saying a bunch of stuff is because they also were the same ones that passed the baton to Kendrick. But the way that sometimes they're like playing both sides, that shit bothers me, bro. It really bothers me because it's like, dog, when the Game came on the scene, he held the West Coast on his back and niggas showed up for him. No questions about it. No qualms about it. Showed up for him because we wanted to see the West win. And that was the person that was going to take it, put the West on his back. Then he got aligned with one of the biggest labels in the game in the G Unit. To me, that first album, classic album, no question about it. But damn, during one of the biggest cultural tug of wars, you chose to play both sides? This reminds me, we don't know these niggas. You hear me when I say that? We don't know these niggas. We don't know them as human beings. We know them by their entertainment name. We barely know them by their government name. We don't know them. We met them when they barely had any kind of money to their name. And we loved it because it felt like it was an extension of us. We could relate to that. Along the way, they skyrocketed into a different tax bracket, very far from where we're at. And so when they show their true self, it's like, who is this? But in all reality, they've been that for years. And I think this whole, like, I'm going to give it to Kendrick and I'm going to give it to Cat Williams. This entire year, last year was the year of truth. I think this year is the year of proof. Now, when you see something, don't fight it. Don't allow your fandom to blind you, my friends. And I don't have to tell nobody in this because I think y'all are with me on this. Don't allow your fandom to blind you. They are exactly who they told you they are. And it hurts. That shit genuinely hurts for somebody that loves hip hop. It hurts to see your favorite rappers that you used to look up to, you realize you really don't know them at all. You're giving all this money to their merchandise, to their shows. You've defended them in arguments. You don't know them. I don't know them for sure. Until we get into a situation like this where it's like, dog, it cost these niggas nothing to say, congratulations, Kendrick. And they still chose not to do it. It cost them nothing. Nobody will look at them like they're any less. Just say, congratulations. We proud of you. You know, man, I would have loved to see Weezy come up there, but you know what? Congratulations is not his time right now. But to see so many, and Nas dead, you're right, Nas dead, but to see so many OGs pop up like this, it's like, dog, niggas used to look up to you, including Kendrick. We used to look up to you. They probably can quote your raps better than you can quote your own raps. That shit is insane to me. That's the part of it where I'm like, it's bittersweet. I love seeing somebody that I was able to work with in the very early years in a Kendrick get to the highest stage possible for a rapper. But it pains me to see people that I can't, like, and they're dropping like flies, family, left and right. I'm like, not you too. You were supposed to be the most gangster and the most secure nigga I ever seen in my life based upon your marketing. But yet here we are. So now I have to stop blaming them and realize it's my fault for putting them on a pedestal. It's my fault for believing that they were the thing they said they were, because they're showing their ass right now. But it will not be my fault. It will not be my fault if I watch them in their element and I don't listen to my own instinct. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. If I can see what they are and they show me who they are and I still choose to believe the best of that situation, that's my fault. It didn't cost these people nothing to say congratulations. Nothing. And they still chose to take another route on it. I'm looking at all my OGs with such a disappointment right now. Bro is drunk. You know what? No, I'm not quite drunk. I'm buzzed. I'm buzzed. I'm definitely buzzed. But I'm telling the absolute truth right now. There is nothing that I said that when I wake up tomorrow, that I will be like, maybe I should. No, I mean everything that I said. Because I love hip hop. I've given hip hop more than half of my life as a professional artist and producer. I've produced for these artists. I've given time to them that I could have been given to family. I've listened to these individuals when they were in interviews, and I used their words as if it was the truth. Now I'm realizing these niggas was lying through their fucking teeth. I'm watching them co-sign people who have said over and over, I don't fuck with rappers. I don't fuck with this culture. I don't even care about the culture significance. I watched them co-sign them because the niggas hype. And then ignore the person that's supposed to be on the side of the culture. Are you kidding me? You showed me who you are. You showed me who you are. Thank you. We're living in a great awakening right now when it comes to hip hop. You showed me who you are. I should be grateful as much as I am angry, but I should be grateful. You've shown me who you are. Now it's on me to stop believing the bull that I believed before. It's just disappointing, dog, because these are people that I'm like, dog, I got Snoop shirts in my closet right now. I got Kanye merchandise. I got Kanye CDs. I want to throw away all that shit right now, bro. I can't look at that shit with a straight face and be like, because niggas played in the most crucial point. And I'm sorry if you're not able to feel what is happening on a spiritual level, but I'm telling you, this is the same thing Kendrick told me in that DM, and I felt it before he told me this in the DM. He randomly hit me during the battle when he was having probably one of the biggest battles of his life and career for sure. He DM'd me because I've known him since 2006, 7, right? Built with him at least. Because through Absol, my production with him. He sends me a DM and he responds to a DM that I sent him in 2012. It was the last time I sent him a DM where I was congratulating him on something he did back then. And then he said, oh man, thank you for that. He said, I appreciate what you're doing right now, Curtis. And I said, man, I didn't even know you would recognize it. I felt like you weren't even on the internet like that. And, you know, I didn't say that, but in my mind, I'm saying that. But I told him, I said, bro, I want to make sure my people see the bigger picture and that there's something that's happening. He said, you're right. It's spiritual. And so what you saw me do for the next X amount of videos was talk about how spiritual this was, because I knew I wasn't wrong. What you saw today was spiritual. And in the same way you could bring your homie to church and he may not get the same message from the pastor, but you felt it. I'm not calling Kendrick a pastor. No. I'm saying the message is the message. The same way you may get it, but your homie don't make the message any less. It don't make it any less. What I'm feeling right now is so many niggas on the West Coast right now that's feeling this right now. This ain't about no fucking billboards. This ain't about no relevance. This is about an energy that is undeniable. I need to understand how many West Coast artists have been consistently putting out music and doing everything that they can with their platforms, trying to learn, just like many other artists, how to get into the content space, trying to figure out how to leverage these things. And doing this without having access to the Dr. Dre's and folks who are not even Dr. Dre, the Snoops and people who are like gatekeeping to a certain degree. They still came up and showed up and came to work. Do you understand how exciting it is right now? not just for hip hop, but also for the West Coast. Do you understand how exciting it is that there's people right now who are showing up to work and realizing that simply them responding back to a Joey Badass song is getting them some run that they couldn't even imagine in 2025? Can you imagine? People are showing up from the East Coast after all of the stuff we heard about East Coast, West Coast in the 90s. They're showing up from the East Coast and being like, yo, I really fuck with Rayvon. Yo, Daylight, my favorite rapper. Absol, people don't even know how hard he is. Bro, Ash Shaik or fucking Draco the Ruler or Ralphie the Plug, his brother, they hard. That means something, bro. That means something, bro. And if nobody else is going to express that, I'm not a street dude. I'm more of a civilian than anything else, but I have worked with a lot of them. My wife asked me one time, in a week span, I think I had 6 Crips that came over my house. She said, why do you know so many Crips? I said, ma'am, I don't know. But I know that those have been some of the most loyal and respectable human beings I know. They never gave me no issues. Always looked out for me. And I just so happen to produce for a lot of Crips, some Bloods too. But I don't look at them for their affiliation. I look at them for their authenticity, and that's what they look to me for. There's a reason why Daylight had hit me up, and then we'll have, no, he's not affiliate like that, but there's a reason why Daylight had hit me up and asked my point of view on things, because it means something. It means something for me to feel like I'm a part of this conversation, even if I'm not one of the biggest artists out here. That's fine. The fact that I can use my platform to be a media voice for West Coast hip hop means the most to me. The fact that I'm talking to a DJ Head a couple weeks ago, he's telling me how proud he is of the things that I'm doing, right? Like, I know all the people that are involved in this situation. I've met them. And that's not even my value. My value is what y'all have seen me do here. So I say all that to say this is a special moment right now. And if you're right now if you're looking at all this and you're not feeling anything, get out the way of the people that are feeling something. If you're looking at everything that's happening right now and you don't feel anything, get the fuck out the way. Because this energy is not going to make no sense to you. It's not about gangbang culture. It's not about any of the stereotypical things that you're talking about. This is a very spiritual thing going on. There's a spiritual warfare that is happening. There are people that feel like they have been shunned for a really long time out here who finally are starting to get play in other regions. So if you don't get what's going on, it's probably best to shut the fuck up and move to the side. Don't come talking to somebody like, especially not me. I'm on 12 right now. Don't come talking to me. But for those of you that do feel what's going on, because this is beyond West Coast hip hop, this is hip hop in general. For those of you that do see what's going on and you feel it, keep waving the flag. Because we all are going to support one another. I have never been this, like, even with me and the homie Rob Markman, he and I can joke about, you know, some Yankees, Dodgers type shit, but I've never been this connected to all of my East Coast folks, my down South folks. I got family in Lafayette. I got family in New Orleans. I got family in Baton Rouge. Never been this connected before. When we talk about the culture, it's not just about hip hop culture. It's like Denzel said, it's the smell of a hot comb through hair. It's smelling just for me gel and immediately reminding you of your sisters getting their hair braided, right? It's seeing certain photos in a household with like biblical characters, but they're all black, right? It's a painting that you see. It's a certain setup. It's a certain type of outlay that your grandma did, and you have no reason. It's the plastic on the covers. It's the things that you looked at and said, "Oh, these things are silly." No, these things mean something to us. It's a smell that I can't like. It makes me almost tear up when I think about it because I don't have my grandma right now. But like the smell of Brut cologne, you feel me? Like the smell of Brut cologne and a rum cake and the whiskey that my grandfather loved. Like, these things mean something. I know it sounds silly, but these things immediately put me back to being a child again. When we talk about culture, this is not a fucking buzzword, dog. So when I see people that I used to look up to, that shit it genuinely breaks my heart, because I'm like, dog, I thought you were that. And then you realize just how narcissistic a lot of these niggas are. Then you realize just how many of them use culture, just how many of them came here for a payday, and now culture for them is a clothing. It's a clothing. Culture is a clothing. They put it on. They know how to talk to you just like this. They know how to get you excited and riled up. They know the type of beats you niggas like. They know the kind of dances you like. But the moment they clock out, they go right back to where they're from and talk about you like they've never been you. So when I see Kanye say the things that he's saying, there's a reason why that energy was what it was for that video that I did. Because I see that and I'm like, wow, you're that detached. I'm seeing some of you coming here talking about, oh, it's cringe. I know why it's cringe. You never had anybody tell you that I love you. You never had a man tell you that I love you. And I hope that you experience that and you don't get insecure by that. I hope that you recognize it's not glazing to show support for somebody that you got love for. I hope you see that one day. I hope you recognize that it's not a weird thing for people to be proud of people. I hope you see that one day. But you can't do that shit with me. Call me young, call me whatever. You can't do that shit with me. I got way too much love for what's going on. But at the same time, I'm an 80s baby. And there's another side of the only reason I can show so much love is because I have a control over rage. I have a control over the monster, which means I have control over the love. Only reason that exists. Only reason love can exist is because I know there's a monster that exists. So, with that said, all my 80s babies, I think you feel it. I think you see what's going on. This is not to leave out my Gen Zers, but something is happening right now, and this is far beyond just rap songs and a diss. If that's where you're at with it right now, you just telling me I can't have those conversations with you. And you know what I'm recognizing? That's good. Because that's a form of gatekeeping. Instead of me over-explaining it to you, I just need to let you be where you're at and smile and say, you know what? You're right. We're overdoing it. We're just over-emotional. Don't worry about us. But if you feel it on a spiritual level, you see how ridiculous this game has been, how unbalanced this game has been. It's not even a fight. It's not even a question. You know what's going on. And I used to feel crazy talking like this. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. Tonight was a good sign of like, you can't have love without the petty. You can't appreciate the love without the petty. You can't appreciate the class of an individual without the directness of an individual. That was some 80 baby shit tonight. That was some 80s baby shit tonight. Oh, you think I'm not finna do this? Say Drake. That nigga looks in the camera and said, say Drake. I just noticed nigga was in Australia and he was watching and he was looking real close. He did like this. I just noticed nigga was like, I just know I know that spooked this nigga to hell. I know it spooked his ass to I just know his ass jumped back. I know his ass jumped back. I know he was looking at Vio. He was looking at his phone like this. Say Drake. He said my name. He said my fucking name. This guy said my goddamn. Get my lawyer on the phone. This fucker said my name. He actually said it. And for those of you that are asking, I mean, it's funny. I've seen people like come back and they say, well, Drake is an 80s baby. Drake is an 80s baby with a different background, a different upbringing. And that's not to invalidate anything like his blackness, but he has a different black experience because blackness is not a monolith. It's not a monolithic experience. It's not a monolith. Everyone has a different black experience. But the culmination of the shared experiences we have is the reason why Not Like Us rings a bell. Because some black folks will hear that and be like, not like us. I mean, obviously, the tax bracket I'm in, I could never be like you. Some people hear that and say, it's about fucking time. Yeah, they not like us. The same people that turn their nose up when you tell them, you know, me, I come from Carson, California. I've lived in San Bernardino. I've lived in Rialto. The same ones that look at that and say, that's embarrassing. They're not like us. The same ones that you tell them like your upbringing and they're like, oh my God, I would never share that. You're not like us. So you're past 15 minutes. Are you safe? I think so. I hope so. Let me see. Yep, it still says 1 strike out of 3. I went back there and deleted that motherfucker so fast. I deleted that shit so fast. Hold on, let me get this off. Let me get this off my community page too. I was over here playing a very dangerous game. I told you I'm going for broke this year. Fearless. I'm fearless about my commentary. I'm fearless about my posting. None of that. None of that. No more fear. No more fear. No more hesitation. And I hope those who are inspired by the content you see here, those who are in my age group, if you're 40 and up and you're still making music, I hope you understand, like, God has us in this point of view, right? God has us in this place right now for a reason. Share your art. Please share your art. Please look at what just happened and recognize that what we're doing just got extended. Please look up and realize that people are showing up for great pieces of art. If you're somebody that is making great pieces of art right now, if you're somebody who genuinely loves this craft and you're willing to put the hours in, man at the garden type shit, show up, because it's going to come a time 100 years from now, 200 years from now, where they'll look back on history and they'll look through music, which will probably still be an artifact that will still be around. They're going to look back and they're going to ask, what were those gentlemen, what were those men and women doing? What was their philosophies? And if the only ones that exist are rappers that are 20 and 30 years old, even though that rap is one of the most powerful devices for communication, it's going to be a shame that after 35, so much of the wisdom got lost. It's going to be a shame that you can only name 5 or 6, 7 albums that were actually influential by artists that were 40 and up. We need you now. We need you now. We need you now. I'm saying this to myself too. We need you now. We need you now. There's younger heads that need you now. Even if they're not listening to you, they need to see an example of what can my life be if I don't crash out in my late 20s and my early 30s? Could there be some hope for me in my 40s? Damn, I'm looking at Unc, I'm looking at OG, whatever they want to call it, and I'm seeing him living his best life. You know what? I got to be around for that. Damn, that's what it's like to have a family. That's what you know what? I want to be around for that. We got to show up, dog. Because look at the fucking OGs we looked up to. Fucking losers. Look at these niggas we looked up to. I had this epiphany. I know I'm saying a lot. I got to get this off my chest. It's heavy on my heart. I had this epiphany when I thought about Andre 3000. That's one of my favorite. That is my favorite rapper of all time. Can't tell me nothing about 3 Stacks. When I heard him say, I'm not going to rap. I don't want to rap no more. What am I supposed to rap about? That was the first time that I had my perspective kind of fucked up. I was like, what you mean you ain't got nothing to rap about? You're one of the greatest writers of my time. What am I supposed to rap about? Colonoscopies? That's when I realized he and I are different. His generation and mine are different. I also remember he was in a Double XL article where he said he said at that time, he doesn't understand how artists have the thick skin to take the negative feedback on the internet from strangers. And I said, wow. I never thought what I was doing was a superpower until he said that. Then I realized his generation and mine is different. Not speaking in generalities, but him, is different. Then I realized, damn, bro, this whole time, my whole career, even though I had my own rap career, my own producer career, I was waiting on my biggest inspiration to come down this proverbial tunnel and show up as his best self. The reality of it is, I wasn't waiting on 3 Stacks. I was waiting on the version of me that was inspired by 3 Stacks. That was inspired by the early Kanyes. That was inspired by the 50 Cents. If you looking for them to come down that tunnel, it's not going to be the version you need them to be. So those of you that have a skill set, get your ass up and write some shit, please. Please. And don't just write some random shit. My guy, Screwface, my dog. Bro, tonight was legendary, bro. We got to talk it up, man. I'm drunk. Super Bowl party. It was too late. Screwface, bro. Talk. Hey, let's chop it up tomorrow, bro. I want to hit you up about doing a reactors version of Culture United on the channel, man. I think that'll be really dope, bro. What you doing is so important, man. There are artists that I know that are looking forward to you, especially out here that are looking forward to your reactions. Let's chop it up. Enjoy your night, my boy. Enjoy your night. What a hell of a night. Let's do it. There it is. Screwface. Screwface John just said it. Dog, if you're of that age and you got wisdom to share, share it. Please share it. Please share it. Tell your story. Tell your story. And if it don't come out right in the first 10 songs, make 10 more. If it don't come out in the first, make 20 more. Don't neglect your responsibilities, obviously. Don't neglect your family time because they love you and they want you there. But tell your stories. Please be here. Imagine being upset tonight, fam. Oh, my mama, imagine being upset. Please tell your stories. Because look at what we got to, look at what we looked up to. Look at how capped that shit is. Look at these niggas, bro. This shit is blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. And I hate to keep harping on that, but I want to make sure you understand, like, there's a yin and yang in this situation. What Kendrick did, I'm beyond myself with that. Beside myself. Seeing the way that the OGs acted on the way up to there, and I'm pretty sure still acting like, it was the truth that I needed to see. To realize none of them niggas is coming down the hallway. It's on you and I. It's on you and I to make the art we've been waiting on them to make. You have forgotten more in your 30 to 40 years than some people have ever learned. Tell your story, please. Leave some memories here that in 1,000 years, people will be like, nah, they was in good hands. Because if we got to rely on the Waynes and the wishy-washy of the Snoops and you know, the way Game is kind of like, I don't know where they at right now. And I don't know them personally. I'm not disrespecting them. But all I know is that I look and I feel disappointment. The Waynes and Kanye's on some other shit. I'm not even trying to look for that shit to be nothing. But what I'm seeing is that, dog, we got to be different OGs. And that shit makes me emotional. We have to be different OGs. I just turned 40 last month. We got to be different OGs. This shit is wild. This shit is whack as fuck. So, I don't hold that responsibility just on my back. I relinquish that to y'all as well who are making art, man. Make some shit, bro. Make some shit. Because I'm telling you right now, what 40-year-old was 10 years ago ain't what it is today. That's it. That's it. I'm not trying to preach to nobody. But I had to get off my chest. Kendrick, what you did today, bro, I salute you. I only can hope that, you know, it's funny because my wife was telling me 7 years ago when me and my wife, before we got together, before we had our son, she took me to a baseball game in Anaheim, right? I promise it's going to all come back to Kendrick. She took me to a game in Anaheim. And I saw the Angels. I was excited because I was dating somebody who wasn't relying upon me to pay for everything. She bought tickets. I was like, that shit is fire. It felt like a hip-hop holiday. Bro, Screwface, it felt like the Lakers won a championship, at least for me. That's what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? I got to link with you at some point, bro. We got a chow game. My wife took me to this Angels game. Amazing. It was a fire game. You know what I'm saying? Did the whole beer and all of this stuff. Nachos, all that. The homie Be Fresh, who came on my channel when I had an interview with, right? He's a good friend of Kendrick's, really good friend of Kendrick's to this day. He invited me. He said, bro, I'm having an album release party in, I think it's the OC. He said, pull up if you can. I pulled up. Saw him do his thing. We took a photo together. My wife was out. Well, she was just my girl at that time. Came with me. This nigga Kendrick comes into the venue. And I was holding her hand and I could see her tighten her hand. I said, what happened? She said, Kendrick Lamar is here. In this little dive bar. This is like 2017, family. This is 2017, 18. He'd already got so much of his classics off. He comes in to support his best friend. Whitney's cousin. Yes, Fly Mama, Whitney's cousin. He comes in the venue with a bodyguard. He's not crazy. With a bodyguard, comes into this. He not making a show or nothing. He not drawing attention. Bro comes into the venue with his bodyguard, big ass dude, and he proceeds to sit down as his boy B Fresh is playing, having a listening party and playing records off his project. He don't make it about him. He sit down like this. And he just listen, nod his head. Oh, that shit fire. At the end of the night, obviously, B Fresh knows that people want to take pictures with him. And I told my wife, and it's something I had to explain to her as best as I could, because I know she wanted to take a picture with him. And I wanted her to do that. But at the same time, I didn't want my first interaction with him after years to be me asking for something or being like everybody else, you know, leeching or oh we need to fit. I need to look like I know you. I said, baby, if I do what I'm supposed to be doing, if I do my job, we're gonna see Kendrick again. But we're gonna see him on a different type of situation. I just need to break bread, shake his hand, tell him how proud I am of him. And if you can let go of this picture, babe, I promise the next one's gonna be 10 times better. And she said, okay, I trust you. I trust you. Shook his hand and I said, bro, I'm at a loss of words. What you did, where you've gone is remarkable, bro. I'm supremely proud of you. He looked at my wife and he said, I see you done good for yourself. I said, my boy, come on now. Come on, bro. Like, come on, man. I just got with her. Like, come on, man. But he was respectful. He said, you did good for yourself. And I said, I appreciate that. And chopped it up a little bit more and just told him have a good night. Told my guy, be fresh, have a good night. And my wife was like, that was better than a picture. That was better than a picture. I said, trust me, we going to see him again. And on the next terms, it's going to be on some much better terms. So I haven't seen him since, which is crazy. But then seeing, you know, getting a DM from him during the battle last year was kind of dope. But I imagine I'm going to cross paths with him. I don't need to. But all I will say is this. I am supremely proud of what I saw tonight. And my wife was like, she's still joking with me. She said, don't forget, Kendrick said you doing good for yourself because you got me. I'm like, damn, chill out. Like, relax. Relax. So, yeah. Good times. So when I see this brother on stage, I'm just like, it's not hard for me to look at him and be like, I am beside myself proud. But to look at other people and realize that that's a challenge, I have to be empathetic, but I also got to scratch my head. You can't tell her nothing now. No, low key, like, she like, oh, that's the, she pointing at him on the Super Bowl. That's the one that said that you doing good for yourself. That's not fair. This nigga performing at the Super Bowl. That's not fair. That's not fair, ma'am. I'm grateful to be able to tell stories like that, but that's the truth of the matter. So yeah, when you he an ace wingman too. Yeah, real shit. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. He definitely set me up. He definitely set me up. Is he a Cupid? Did he set me up? He probably did. He probably did. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I know we went to a few different places. I'm glad to have had this conversation. I didn't get shut down. That's a good thing. Tomorrow I'll have a hashed out conversation. I got to figure out how to get I'll just make some screenshots and then I'll do a video tomorrow. Have patience with me. But man, that's insane. You said, wait a minute. You see your theory. Judah Harden said, you all missed the Squid Game theme. I was torn between Squid Game, talking about with the X's and the O's on the platform. Got it. I was torn between Squid Game and PlayStation. And I thought it was really ironic that there was a theme that I know had to be months and months in advance. But I thought it was really ironic that PlayStation had a server error today where people literally had their PlayStation server and TV turned off. I thought it was really interesting that at the end of it, it said game over. I was like, eh. Then you start to see X buttons. You start to see O buttons and squares. I looked at it, I was like, And then a homie Kalen Ellis hit me up and was like, this nigga putting in cheat codes before he performed. I said, oh, no. Don't let me find out. This nigga Kendrick put a jetpack on before he went on. Left, right, L, left, right. This nigga put a jetpack on. He performed peekaboo inside the X. A triple X hint. I didn't see that. Oh my God. Because you know, that sample starts off with the helping hand. And you know that Triple X Tentacion had a charitable program that he did called The Helping Hand in Florida. Oh my God. Yeah, this is psychological and spiritual warfare. I can almost guarantee you there was a light-skinned nigga in Australia. There was a light-skinned nigga in Australia, Lord, who was watching this Super Bowl at 12:30 p.m. and saw this man allude to a possible connection on Peekaboo to Triple X Tentacion. He knows what's going on. Drake is tone deaf culturally, and he has some stupid moments. But this guy served up exactly for his level of understanding. Don't get it twisted. Drake sees all of this. He got a cat named Crody. He has a cat. He don't give a F. John Cuzzo, do you help him dangle his penis when he pee-pee too? He don't give a F. You do like that? You do like that for him? You pat it down too? You say, is that good enough for you, Drake? He don't give a F. Talking for another man's emotions is crazy. That's some shit I never understand. Head ass. Is that cool? Peekaboo. Stop that. Don't do that. Don't do that, fam. Don't do that. Don't do that. He don't give a F. Yes, he does. That's why this nigga's in his apple bottom jeans with his boots and his fur. In Australia, rapping over there. He hit the flow. He hit the flow. Next thing you know. Not like us got done again and again and again at the Super Bowl. Stop it. He don't give a F. You don't know what's going on through that man's head. Even if you sitting next to him, you don't know what's going on through his head. Can we stop this? He don't give a F. That's so catty. Stop it. He don't give a F. Drake don't give a F. Yes, he does. With his blue cowboy boots and fur boots, this nigga cares too much. That's why he's spiraling. You ever been in high school and seen a nigga fall, and he kept falling after he fell because he tried to get up too fast? That is what you're witnessing right now. You ever see somebody fall and keep falling because they won't just accept the fall? Bronny James went up for a dunk. He slammed it. You know what Bronny James did when he fell? He laid down. Imagine that. Even Bronny James gets it. He laid down. He said, "Oh shit, I just got the wind knocked out of me. All right, let me gather myself first. Do I need some help? No, give me a second." He gathered himself, and then he got up in one piece. He didn't try to release 100 gigs of videos of his high school highlights. He didn't sue the person that mopped the floors that day. He didn't go changing his dribble moves to go from 6 to 23, but not LeBron. That is not unbothered. Only a hypersensitive man will look at that and say it's not bothered. That is bothered. Golly, we gotta stop this. I'm telling you, y'all don't want to have these conversations with me right now. We on cultural fire right now. Y'all gotta leave me alone right now. Sassy ass. He in Australia right now, pumping himself up like, man, you gotta remind him who you are. You're right. You're right. You're right. So when you get on this stage in Australia, you let these Australians know who the fuck you are. You're Avi Graham. Fucking Avi Graham. You fucking wheelchair Jimmy. Fucking wheelchair fucking Jimmy. Degrassi's nothing without me. That's right. You sunk that ship, baby. You get out there and you do No Face. You do used to call you on my cell phone. You go sing to these Aussies. Because you really like that. You know what? Guess what? We're not like them. But they're also not like us. Where my drink at? Oh, this is beyond me. Looking like a goldfish package. They said, apparently, allegedly, he wore this shirt that said, "Where do you see my?" And it's an arrow pointing down to his crotch. They said he went to a high school like that today. Allegedly. With blue boots, with blue boots, allegedly, with blue boots and a shirt that said, "Where do you see my?" Oh, at a high school. If this is indeed true, it's online. Yes, he did. That's what else said. This is not about him today. But do you understand? Holy kangaroo. Do you understand what's going on here? Allegedly. We gotta go with that. We can't get no issues. He went to high school with a shirt that said, "Where do you see my?" He visited an Aussie high school today with blue boots and some man booty shorts. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the YouTuber. I'm all full of allegedlys. You write about PDF 3. It's only Big D, and there's video proof. He really did right there. This nigga freaky. And this nigga's really a 6ix9ine god. JF Music. Oh my god, I wish I could highlight that. He said he quoted Dre saying, "You write about PDF 3. It's only Big D, and there's video proof." He's so stupid, he don't understand that just admitted that he leaked it himself. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. He's so stupid. Why would you say that? Who is supposed to see? That's the crazy part about it. I know there is somebody right now that is quoting those lyrics and saying it with a whole lot of enthusiasm. You are bragging about the magic in somebody else's Johnson. Imagine bragging about the magic in somebody else's Johnson. That's an Unk reference, and I'm going to go ahead and just live by that. Imagine bragging about the magic in someone else's Johnson. Couldn't be me. Put that in your court docs. Tanisha said, "Yikes." Yeah, this is not unbothered. So forget him. Forget that. Kendrick did his shit today. And could not be more proud. Let me see if I got, hopefully I didn't get flagged. Let's please say a prayer for us tonight. All I did was try to deliver content to the people. Let's see. Oh, okay. We seem to be good. All right, cool. I still can't believe y'all try to convince me that lowercase a chain was supposed to be for PG Lang. I still can't believe y'all try to convince me that lowercase a chain was for PG Lang. Stop that. Don't nobody pay. Let's say that chain was $70,000. You gonna pay $70,000 and leave out the PG and the L and just get an A? A lowercase a? Some may say a minor A. That nigga's not from Atlanta. He's not from Atlanta, first of all. He's not an Atlanta Braves fan, to my understanding. I've never seen him play for the Atlanta Hawks. I never seen him do the Atlanta Falcons dance. I've never seen that before. That A ain't no damn PG Lane. That A was the biggest. That was the biggest troll that you could ever see. A diamond encrusted lowercase a. This man really, dog. Has it sat in yet? Has it sat in for a second yet? He really performed the first verse of Not Like Us and a chorus. After all these podcasts told you that he's probably not going to do it. After 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson. I'm not even calling by their rap names no more because it just feels like it's a shame to call them by their rap names because they're not them person. They're not them no more. Curtis Jackson told you on Big Boy Neighborhood that he's suing so that he can get ahead of the Super Bowl. As far as I'm concerned, 50 Cent is the mole. As far as I'm concerned, UMG is the mole. As far as I'm concerned, they both the mole. They both the mole. 50 Cent has been giving him the worst advice I've ever seen. Convince me otherwise. Supposedly in the overhead shot, the dancers form the shape of the word PDF. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Nothing surprises me. To be continued in court. Do you know how corny that is? That and I know Justin is the one that kind of like put this theory out there. Do you know how corny it is if they think that round 2 in this battle is in court? I hate to keep talking about the guy. I really hate to keep talking about that. I really do. I want to focus on his performance. But do you know how stupid that is? Do you realize that Dr. Dre and Lucien Grange high-fiving each other in public tells you how little fear they have of this lawsuit? If you were going to court for a speeding ticket, what is the likelihood that you'll be speeding in front of cameras? If his case is they have unfairly promoted these records that are defamatory to me and untrue about me based upon the lyrics, why would then the mentor of Kendrick, the signee of Kendrick, high five someone who is over the head of UMG, which houses Kendrick's imprint as well as Drake's imprint? Why would they high five? That shows me they don't have a case to stand on. Brother said this is the most boring Super Bowl performances, and he's a rapper and listens to R. Kelly. Might be the end of that relationship for real. You know what? You know what's crazy, bro? I say this. Don't end your, don't feel like you need to end your relationships. Just change your perspectives on these people. I'm doing it right now. Here's the last rant that I want to go on. Please hear me out when I say this because I feel I'm in a good mood and I need to say this. Moving forward, I think we need to really revisit the conversation of, is it possible to separate the artist from the art? Where's my battery at right now? 11%. Can we separate the artist from the art? No, I don't think so. What do you think? I'm gonna listen to you guys. I want to see what you say. Matter of fact, can I do a poll here? Yeah, I can. Let me start a poll. Can you separate the artist from the art? I'll put up a poll right now. You guys go ahead and vote on that, and I would love to see what you guys think of this. I have some really, really valid thoughts, some really hashed out and thought about. I've really thought about this over the last few months, actually, but last week after this whole Kanye thing, because some of y'all know I'm a big Kanye fan. I got some theories on this, and I'm curious to see where y'all are at with it before. You can separate the two, but you can't be a fan of both the person and the art. No, the art is a part of the artist. Y'all, I got some valid points. JF Music says, if it's yay, you can forget it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. My answer's in the middle. That's fair. All right, so I'm already looking at 218 of you, and thank y'all for being here. Make sure you hit the like button. It will be greatly appreciated. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I would love to continue these conversations with you. Here's my thoughts on it. I was first presented this idea of separating the artist and the art, I think during the R. Kelly era, where he was accused of some things that were so unforgivable that it made it very difficult to listen to his songs, especially his more sensual and sexual songs, and not think about the inappropriate things that you heard about him doing with underage kids. It was impossible. This is the remix of Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. It got even worse when you saw Dave Chappelle do the things that he did in his skits. I want to piss on you, trip, trip, trip. It got very bad. Here's something I learned, and this has nothing to do with music, but it's going to come back to it. I cannot no longer separate the artist from the art. I can't do it. I can't do it. The art is the artist. The art is the artist, and the artist is the art. Here's what I mean. When I went to a motivational self-help event by a speaker named Tony Robbins called Unleash the Power Within, he spoke a whole lot about the power of mantras. Mantras are typically phrases and thoughts that are repeated over and over and over and over again. That's why when you see things in movies, people are like, you are sleepy. These are part of the mantras, okay? So I went to the Unleash the Power Within. I paid like $700 to go to this event. This shit was so good. It had me so hypnotized and motivated. I walked on fire. I walked on hot coals and I walked on fire because of the hypnotization of what went happen, right? I say that to say, he shared about the power of hypnosis. If you don't believe that hypnotization is real, think about how many times you tell yourself you can't do something and you don't do it. That's a form of hypnotization. You hypnotize yourself to believe that you can't do something and you don't do it. Some of you hypnotize yourself to believe that you can do something in light of there not being evidence you can, and then you achieve it. That's a form of hypnotization. But this is because of mantras that are said over and over again that change the wiring of our brain and that change the way that we look at the world and the way that we view ourselves. Follow me. If something can be repeated over and over again with an emphasis and a strength that makes you believe in the thing, what's to stop the catchiest songs from doing the same shit? La, 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 wait till I get my money right. What's to stop songs that are literally choruses meant to be the most catchy they can be? What's to stop these songs from being mantras? Follow me. If I'm hearing something over and over and over again, if I grow up and I have a parent that's telling me, you ain't shit, you ain't gonna be shit, you ain't about shit, I'm going to grow up feeling like I'm not worth of anything, right? Why? Because those mantras have been repeated to me. What happens when you're dealing with an artist that don't believe you shit, that thinks they're better than you? That's a fucking narcissist. And they're doing all their genius work and they're putting it into their music and they're giving you their mantras. You want to know why OVO fans are so difficult to fucking talk to? Because the guy they look up to is a child actor and a narcissist his damn self. They have been programmed by his music and his God-given, maybe some people will say his other force, his ability to make catchy ass music that turns into mantras. No new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no new friends. Why the fuck would I want to hear no new friends as a mantra? But if you play a song over and over and over again, it becomes a part of your it becomes a part of your language. It becomes a part of your belief system. And he's the #1 stream artist of all of our time. So what I'm saying is this: I can't separate the artist from the art, because if the artist is an asshole, it's going to filter its way into the music. If the artist is a self-centered narcissist, it's going to find its way into the music. And if they're great at music, yes, exactly. When he said you only YOLO, you only live once. These are ideas that are being planted inside of our brain. It's not a crazy thing, because if I tell myself I'm a failure and I'll never be anything, guess what I'm going to be? A failure that doesn't do anything. It's not a stretch at all. These mantras are given to people who are sometimes children, people who don't have philosophies to stand on. They don't stand for anything. They're given to you by people who don't have the same belief system that you have. They're given to people who answer to a higher power, in terms of like, not God, but in terms of like executives that are feeding them the fucking shit to say. And by the time it gets to us, it becomes our new mantra. You know when I really thought about this? When I started to hear a song that said, Lil Uzi Vert, all my friends are dead, push me to the edge, all my friends are dead. Or when I heard Sean Kingston, you'll have me suicidal, suicidal. Are you fucking kidding me? To the point where this song would randomly come up. I got murder on my mind. I was trying to kill a mouse in my house 2 years ago, and that song randomly popped into my head. I got murder on my mind. What the fuck is that? That's programming. And without speaking on his situation too much, he's serving jail time because of some bullshit involving a fucking murder. Imagine that. So what I'm saying is this: I can no longer separate the artist from the art, because nigga, you are the art. No matter how slick you get about it, no matter what you say, nigga, you are the art. Your mantras are, if you are somebody that I can't fuck with as a human being, why would I listen to your music? You're literally giving me the blueprint of how to be an asshole, how to be a narcissist, how to be entitled, how to be apathetic about the lives of other people. I can't separate that shit no more. I can't. There is no separation of the artist and the art. I can't separate it no more. You are who you told me you are. And even when you don't think about it, the things that when you think about, even like Drake, when you think about some of the things he says about like getting drunk and texting a girl who's in a relationship, somebody he wishes he would have paid more attention to, nigga, that's a loser in real life. That's a fucking loser in real life. Well, because he does it in such a creative way with his hooks, because it sounds good, niggas will look at that simp behavior and call that some real shit. So what I'm saying is, I no longer can separate. Matter of fact, I got to make sure that whatever I'm playing for myself is a reality that I want to one day live. You know what's crazy? It doesn't just apply to mainstream music on the radio. This applies also to underground rap too. And niggas not gonna like me for saying this. This applies to when I'm listening to niggas that are like, I've been broke, I'm forever broke, and the government is to blame for everything in my life. I don't want that victim mentality in my shit. Nigga, I'm not a victim. And I don't plan on being broke the rest of my life. I'm not gonna play a soundtrack that's gonna reinforce these ideas in my head. Especially when they're created by 17, 18, 19-year-olds who don't even necessarily feel the same way today. So I say all this to say, this is not an attack on the language and on the art. I love music. I love writing. I love it so much. But I also respect its gangster. And I know that some of this shit is so good, it can change the wiring of your thinking. Please be aware of the stuff you let your kids play. Please be aware of the things that you let them repeat. Right? Even when I think about Not Like Us, the reason why it doesn't feel nearly as problematic is because I look at that and I say, what does a kid take away from that song? Stay away from these weirdos. They're not like us. Call that shit out. When you see some weirdo shit, even the third verse is a fucking history lesson about colonizers. Evidence, underground rapper, said, in order to talk to a younger generation, you have to learn how to put the vitamin inside of a brownie. A vitamin inside the brownie. Because they won't take the vitamin. Vitamin inside the brownie. So, that's to me what Not Like Us was. It was taking a vitamin and putting it in a brownie. And a mustard beat, catchy hook. You know what I'm saying? Like, he getting at another dude. But in the midst of it, there's lessons that kids are taking away from it because of how catchy it is. Once upon a time, we were enslaved. Colonizers, like, he's giving all this game in a beat like a mustard beat. Are you kidding me? Vitamin in the brownie. Give them something that tastes really, really good, but then insert vitamins in the midst of that. If it took this for somebody to even look up what we're talking about, good, 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 good. People want to act like revolution is supposed to be peaceful. It's supposed to be kumbaya. That's not revolution. Revolution is violent. Revolution is sometimes bloody because there's some stubborn motherfuckers that don't want to move out of place. There are some entities that have made a lot of money, but the crazy thing about the music industry, which is crazy, what I've learned, they are not loyal to just debauchery. They're loyal to whatever's making money. If your little conscious raps can make some money, come on in. If your debauchery can make some money, fuck it. That's double dipping. Let's make that. That's why you keep seeing different eras where, like, there was a time where De La Soul was getting all kind of radio play. It was the time where you see these artists that are, there was a time that 106 in Park had Slum Village on the same list as 50 Cent. Whatever makes money. Little Brother on the same, list as Lil Bow Wow. Whatever makes money. Right now, that shit that Kendrick's talking is not only resonating with people on a cultural level, it's making money. Arrested Development. Tennessee, yes, Arrested Development for sure too. Yeah. So historically, they go where the money is at. So that's what I'm getting at. All right, I'm keeping my East Coast people up way too late. I love you. I appreciate you. So glad it's Chop Game. I'm so glad YouTube ain't take my shit down. I wanted to plant some of these ideas out there. Take whatever you want to take from it, but I do think it's time for us to audit a lot of these folks we listen to. I don't want their worldviews in my daily playlist. I don't want that bullshit in my ear no more. Maybe a little bit. Maybe like maybe like 10% bullshit. But even then, I gotta be more responsible. I'm just being honest with you. Just maybe like 10%. Because I've been listening to Draco. I've been like, this nigga talking about some very crazy shit right now. I can't make a case for Peekaboo. That shit just feel good. Filter it. You know what I'm saying? Too much of anything is bad. But just like filter that shit. Like 90-10. 90-10. Baby steps. Carlos is spitting facts. Monique, you better leave me alone. Much love to y'all. I'll be back at it tomorrow, hopefully. Say a prayer for me. Thank you for everybody that did the super chat. Let me make sure I acknowledge everybody here. Peekaboo. All right, let me acknowledge everybody in the fan funding real quick. Damn, y'all really went in. Damn, $135. Shout out to y'all. It was a great performance, but I gotta admit, a Black Hippie reunion would have been it. Instant Messenger Sound, that was my only critique, is that I would have loved to see Black Hippie on the stage. Like, that would have been dope to see Ab Soul and them. I thought we was gonna see it, but I'm not complaining, bro. The fact that we got a rapper headlining, first of all, and then the fact that it was Kendrick, A1. I can imagine what's gonna happen on this tour, which, by the way, I'm getting my tickets. From Uncle Sam to trolling on the big stage, glad K-Dot was the first solo act to rap hip-hop. Game over. Shout out Serena Williams, A minor. That's right. Mike Peterkin said, I appreciate your hard work, brother. God bless you and the fam. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for that love. Instant Messenger Sama said, Nas kept his word though. For that, I salute him. That part. Miss Abee said, definitely disappointed in Ye. I think a lot of us are. A lot of us are. To me, disappointment lasts longer than anger. Anger fizzles out really fast, right? Especially when we feel like we said our piece. Disappointment is a sneaky one. And I think a lot of us are feeling that to where it's like, I think many of us are at the point where I've talked my shit, but now I'm like, I pity you. I pity you. I got his fans in my DMs or not my DMs, my mentions like, oh, you're just jealous. You want to be him. Nigga, I don't want to be him. My life is amazing compared to the shit that I'm seeing here. Yeah, I don't have billions, but if this is what comes with it, he can have it. You got it. Free Carlito's away king. He ain't going back to jail. Diaz, thank you. I think. Pink Starbucks. What did 50 do this time? Just the way that he's playing both, not even playing both sides, but the way that he's been kind of pandering to Drake. And he was the first person to come to his rescue after everything happened with Not Like Us. He went on Big Boy's radio and he talked about the op list, and he was holding the op list up and telling all these people that they got something to worry about. He's the one that put the narrative out that Kendrick would not be allowed to do Not Like Us, and that's why Kendrick did the case. And then it dawned on me, Curtis Jackson is also the same one that put a restraining order on Murder Inc., allegedly. Then I was like, could that be the person that's influencing him to play with the law like that? Wouldn't surprise me. People are salty that hip hop is back in order. I get it. I get it. The zombies got to wake up and they don't want to. Instant Messenger Sama said, I remember when the game dropped One Blood. That was a different era. Yes, it was. Because even though he was going up against Dre, people still was pulling for him. They was like, man, we want to see you win. Cloudy Coy said, most of the people that grew up listening to the mostly self-serving, they do not care about their families or fan base. That part right there. EC said, I love your content with the musician perspective. Can you share your thoughts about halftime performance? F the haters. Yeah, we talked about it at length. If you go back through this stream, I loved it. I loved it. Thank you, Erica, for the super chat. Dear Hip Hop, mustard, says Darnell. Appreciate you. Instant Messenger Sama. To be honest, the word glazing has no weight at all. I had to tell, I'm assuming it's a younger dude. He was like, damn, bro, this is elite glazing. I'm said, waking up with dick on your mind is a choice. Wasn't nobody talking about dick. And you chose to use the most colorful way that you could think of dick. You really just think about that for a second. Like, it's like me and you talking about like different type of like apples, like granny apples and red apples. And then all of a sudden you're like, nigga, you like dick? Oh, there. We're talking about apples. What made you go with that? I don't get it. Like, I get it because it's a saying, but it's just weird. Weird energy. 80s baby from Cape Town, South Africa. We feel it too. A line is being drawn. Simba Leslie, I appreciate you. We it's here. It's here. Looked in the bro's soul, Justin Lyons said. Wop, 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 my guy. Screwface John, man. Hope you have a good night, man. Be safe out there tonight, bro. Bobby Tropo said, generation example of not giving an F. Yeah, my phone about to die in a second. I got 3%. Let me keep it going. Thank you, Bobby. Tone said, first time I seen Dot live was venue outside of Angel Stadium. He was rocking with a hype man on Tech 9 tour. No one approached Dot during meet and greet. Look at him now. They approaching him now. Mahulu, thank you so much. Cloudy Coy. K-Dot is Gen Z and Gen X GOAT. That part. It's a hard act to follow. Brother said this is the most boring Super Bowl. Moaz, man, you already know what it is. Thank you for the super chat. Johnny Bravo said, way I see it, we should separate good ideas from terrible people. We can give them credit for coming up with it, but no, it doesn't make them better. I hear what you're saying. I can agree with you on this. I think that God delivers messages sometimes to the worst people. I think that God delivers messages, amazing messages through the worst people, because it needed to go through them for us to look at it from a different perspective and not ignore it or turn a deaf ear. Sometimes he uses his most controversial people to get messages through. I do believe that. But then again, I could take a message and still say, like, I'm very weary of its source if I don't know for sure that it came from God. Shantir, I appreciate you for the super chat. Say Kendrick is literally David with the slingshot. Bro, they counted bro out, which is crazy to say now. It's insane. That's the last thing I'll say for real, for real. It's insane how bro went from being the underdog that didn't want, that everybody said wouldn't say nothing back, to now being a bully. Think about that. Bro went from being an underdog to a certified bully. That's why I do these videos. We revisit a time period, because I'm like, dog, don't forget, they really looked at him like he couldn't stand a chance. Bro, ain't nobody taking down Drake. What does this nigga think he is? He went from being the guy, well, he not gonna make a hit. He had that man so frazzled that he didn't even do what he's known for, which is making hits. You didn't get one catchy hook the entire way through this whole, if drop is a hook, maybe that's the catchiest one. You didn't get Drake at his best the entire battle. That's how frazzled he had this man. He couldn't even be himself. He couldn't do the back-to-back shit he did with Meek Mill. He couldn't do the charged up. He knew he was outclassed. And if he got even an ounce of the Kendrick that we saw, he just hoped that his popularity was so strong, his headlock that he had on pop culture was so strong that I'm gonna just say this for lack of a better term, them white folks wouldn't care. Then he started hearing Not Like Us at bar mitzvahs. And that might have been a moment he said, oh shit, I thought this little rap thing, this little rap adventure, this little rap side mission wasn't gonna do nothing. Now there's news reporters saying, they're not like us. There's pastors saying, they're not like us. There's Democratic and Republican conventions saying, they're not like us. This shit is a nightmare. And he brought it upon himself because his ego was so fucking outstanding, so terrible, that he never thought that anybody could do anything to him, especially not somebody that he looked at as a little bro. And look what happened. Greatest night we've ever seen in terms of hip hop and the Super Bowl. One of the greatest runs I've ever seen in my lifetime. Period. Fucking period. Y'all have an amazing night. I really do appreciate talking hip hop with you. Thank you for making this possible. Make sure you like this video, subscribe. Y'all have an amazing night. I will be back here tomorrow. Where's your charger? Downstairs, but I need to get up off of here. I gotta go. I don't have to. I get to go take my son to school tomorrow, and I gotta wake up at 6:30. It's 11:26 right now. So I bid you farewell. Harmony is the key, not balance. Harmony is the key, and I gotta make sure my son see me in the morning. All right. Much love to you. I will talk to y'all soon. God bless. Careful of the stuff that you're listening to. Thank you for talking hip hop with us tonight. Have a good night.